All right, family. It's about that time. That's right, it's the truth hour with General Sarah Soon said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's right, family. We're coming in on Santanelia Christmas, y'all. What every black family needs to know about Christmas. This is about the fifth or sixth year I done it. Come straight in. You might as well gift wrap this lecture, put it up under your pagan tree, and be in the house December 25th. And it's on Sunday, too. So I know y'all going to be coming right on about it at Sunday service. That's right, coming right on about the Sunday service. As a matter of fact, we got it from 1 p.m. I thought it was 2, but it's 1. You feel me? We're going to get started at 1 and we're going to get it popping. You feel me? And I guarantee you it's going to be power packed with information guaranteed to wake you up right there in the winter solstice. We're going to wake you right up out your winter solstice. That's right, family. You see? Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com online marketplace, official General Sarah. Wait a minute. Let me get it popping right here. Official General Sarah Soon Seti DVD lectures. Of course, I got all the new ones. You feel me? Classic and Jurassic DVD lecture presentation, African history, heritage, and culture. T-shirts and hoodies for the kings and the queens. African and Kemetic jewelry for the family. We got the necklaces, earring, bracelets, finger rings. We got West Africa. We got East Africa. You feel me? So we got some from every side. You feel me? KingSeti.com, holistic tonics and remedies. You need it. You need it. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. You know, seeing a lot of family falling out here. You feel me? Because we're not taking this serious. You feel me? And that's real talk. We got to take this shit serious out here. You know, we got the organic immunity boosters, black seed, living bitter, the holy oil, black seed. We got the men's tonic. We got you, family. We're going to get you together out there. Home decor, accessories for every room in the house, living room, dining room, kitchen. We got you. KingSeti.com. Class is 9 sessions, SETI University, GeneralSeti.com, over 900 video presentations. That's right, too raw for YouTube. SETI with the master teachers, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Dr. Walter Williams, Colin Muhammad, Freemasonry Exposed, Ancient Egypt, Nubia, Olmec Voyages of the Nile, from Naga to Nigger, occult science, SETI debates, all world religions, radio, video interviews, highlights from over 50 cities. Highlights, baby. That's a lot of cities. That's a lot of cities. Ancient civilization and mythology, black power, politics, and economics. The complete General Sarah Soon Seti website. Class is not in session. Get your ass in class. General Seti, keep it popping on Patreon. BPC making noise. We never come. Exclusive live stream. Too hot to handle on YouTube. Just did a promo today for the origins of the that was on GeneralSeti.com. Okay, we just dropped. What did we drop on Patreon? Oh yeah, the synagogue of Saturn, the Sabbath of Satan. And we're going to have some hard ones dropping tomorrow, too. Live. You get to see the general do his thing. And, you know, of course, we're going to do it 2-3 steps up on YouTube. That's how we do. You know what I'm saying? There it is right there, the synagogue of Saturn. And make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels. Got something popping all the time. General Seti, King Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get the videos a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. I want you to do that. I want you to tell me how you feel. Just keep it real. Because I will ban your ass. You feel me? Get you up out of here. All right. We're in the house, family. Today we're going to be doing a very powerful presentation Power pack. Let me go and get started. Where we at? Time in myself. Let me go and get started with this work. Now, love it, because we always got these bums out here. You know, these academic bums, like the Hebrew Israelites. Like the Ashkenazis. Even the Protestants. Even the Cro-Magnon Protestants try to steal the greatness of ancient Egypt from its African origin. Can't do it. Can't do it. No matter what they do, they can write a million of them lying ass books. We'll refute them every goddamn time with the truth. You feel me? With the truth. Let's get busy. Let's go and get busy. Where we at? There we go. Let's get this on up. To put in this kind of work for the master teachers. Show them that their legacy is still continuing. Almighty information. All right, the Southern African origins of the Great Pyramid. Okay, and so we know we have to be, in the spirit of the ancestors, in the spirit of the master teachers. We got to be thorough with this. You see, because everybody want a piece of our greatness, but we can't let them have it. We can't let them have it. Now, how do we know that the pyramid originated in Africa? First and foremost, it's on the African continent. You see, first and foremost, and though all others have claimed where the origins come from outside of Africa. That's what they say. I tell you what, find me an pyramid that look like this one anywhere else on the globe other than Africa. You see, and I give respect, like I say, I give respect to the Olmecs, but them are students. They babies compared to the greatness of Africa. Them babies, even in their greatness, the Olmecs is babies compared to the Nile Valley. There's no comparison. You feel me? And that's no disrespect. That's no disrespect. So when we looking at now that one right there is Khufu. That ain't even the Great Pyramid. That's Khufu's pyramid. And that's the son of Khufu, whose pyramid is the largest pyramid on the earth. I hear these clowns talking about Chacula down in Mexico. Man, listen here. If it ain't standing, it don't count. And even if it was standing, it was made out of mud. Wasn't no goddamn stones like these. I'm sick of this shit. They'll put anything out there and say, oh, that shit on the ground. It's on the ground. If it ain't standing, it don't count. I'm sick of that shit. Atlantis. Goddamn it, if it ain't above water, it don't count. Even if it did sing, but we know it ain't down there. You feel me? But they always looking for a pipe dream to try to compare to what, as Dr. Walter Williams said, Egypt is topsoil. We ain't under the water. We ain't under the ground. You understand? We ain't in outer space. We right here on the planet. Topsoil for anybody in the world to come see. You feel me? So you looking at Khufu, you got to understand that the dates are arbitrary. You understand what I'm saying? Because the Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, and I tell y'all time and time again, you can never, ever, 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 ever let another man count your pockets. Because if you do, you're going to always come up short, period. And then man counted your pockets and gave you these numbers out here. He didn't took damn near a half a million years off of it. You understand? Not to, show you how far deep he was up in the cave. You feel me? So we already know he didn't shave a half a meal at minimum. You see? And so here you're looking at Khufu's pyramid about 100 years, of course, you know, younger than the old dude Khufu. You feel me? And so you're understanding that even if you take the arbitrary number, you are looking at megalithic structures that is so shocking to the mind that of course, it took every bit of 500,000 years to gather that kind of wisdom. You feel me? And see, that's not that's an educational. You understand what I'm saying? Guesstimation. It's within reason. You feel me? It's within reason. And so you see here Khufu 2589. You see Khafre's pyramid. You see Khufu's grandbaby. You understand? Menkaure. And it looks small compared to the other two. But when you get up on it's a great structure. And that just shows you. That just shows you how great these pyramids is. It look like a baby compared to these. You feel me? And it is. But when you get up on it's a megalithic structure. And he got some heavy blocks down there at the bottom. He got some heavy stones, even on that one right there. Some of the heaviest stones that ever been moved in the world. You feel me? You got to understand that they move. I mean, he got some blocks on the bottom of that pyramid that weigh close to 100 tons. 100 tons. You got to, and I did a video, you got to understand some of these megalithic structures, that they quarried these stones hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles away. Sailed them. Some of them they sailed, some they carried across the land. I said, dang. I'm talking about close to 1,000 tons. You see, 1,000. They got some structures that is carved from one single block. 1,000 tons. You see, 1,000 tons. And moved it across land, hundreds and hundreds of miles away. So you're dealing with a people that been mastering, so when you look for the origin, you ain't got to look far because they've been doing it a long time. They ain't just got started in Egypt. When you look at this, you seeing the mastery of the skills. You see, you're looking at, and when you look at that pyramid, you're looking at probably at least, hundreds and hundreds of complex sciences separate from one another, but brought together, to bring this structure to stand on the surface of the earth. Geometry, astronomy, chemistry, masonry, all forms of mathematics, all forms of geography, geology. To bring this structure to completion in all of them sciences, you had to be at complete mastery to pull this off. Now, as you look and you see, let me go back up. You see right there, Khafre, you see Khufu. Okay, I got two of Khafre. Okay, you see Khufu, Khafre. Let me go put Menkaure right behind Khafre. Now, Khafre was the father of Menkaure. You see? So you see, boom, boom, boom. You see, that's the pyramid field of Giza. Now, Khufu's father was Sneferu. Okay, Sneferu. And Sneferu constructed, we know for sure, two great pyramids. Okay, the red pyramid, which you see right there. Now, I don't believe it is as big as Khafre's, but it's the third largest pyramid. And it's in, as you can see, only thing missing is the outer casing. You see? Only thing missing is the outer casing. Now, a lot of people got to understand the Arabs went over there and went to blowing holes in the pyramids, taking blocks off of them, taking the white limestone. It didn't fall down on its own. Them Arabs went over there and desecrated them pyramids. Okay? There. Some people put the European. Arab was over there before the European. They were already pilling on the damn structure. A lot of them goddamn structures that's in Cairo right now, mosque and all the buildings and citadels that's over there in Cairo were built with granite that came from the pyramids and other temples that they tore down to construct. You see, a lot of what you see in Cairo ain't a European. The Europeans was getting permits from the Arabs, from the Arabs to do what they do. Okay, Pasha, what's his name? What's that other Pasha name? You get the book, The Rape of the Nile by Brian Fay. That's all you got to do. That's a powerful book that exposed all Pasha Ishmael. I believe that was one of them. Ishmael, Pasha Ishmael, giving all them Europeans permits. You know what I'm saying? To go over. That's just how you know it wasn't theirs. Now today they want to act like it's a part of their culture. If at any point in time they thought ancient Egypt belonged to them, they would not have been given all them permits to them Caucasoids to go over there and do what they did to the pyramid. You're also looking at the Bent Pyramid, which, Sneferu built around 2600 BC. Now, let's be clear. At 2600 BC, there is not a European civilization anywhere. Okay? You ain't going to even really get Greece. And they try to embellish the chronology of Greece, but you ain't really got nothing over in Greece, man, to around 300 BC. And that, and even then, they didn't, it wasn't long after that, it fell down. You got to understand, Greece did not last that long. Okay? It did not last that long. And that's what you got to understand. You can take Greece, you can take Rome, you can put Constantinople and about two more goddamn, civilizations in there, and it'll fit inside the chronology of ancient Egypt. Period. Okay? So you see the Bent Pyramid, you see the Red Pyramid, 2613, 2589, 2600 BC. So Sneferu put some heavy weight down on this planet. You see right there, the architects, they didn't get the calculations right. And as they was coming up, it began to, if they would have kept going, based on the calculations they originally had, it would have collapsed in. So when they got to a certain point, they knew they were just going to have to slope it real, and finish it as it was. They couldn't take it, to the extent that they originally had calculated, and so this is why it looked bent, because they got to the certain point and then they just sloped it off. You see what I'm saying? And this is what give it the name, the Bent Pyramid. But nevertheless, man, if he would have brought that pyramid to the intended height, it would have been the second. I believe it would have been right up under Khufu. You see, and this is his father. You see, so you seeing the development. You see, this was the first one that Sneferu, and then he came right back. You see, he came right back. But now when you go up under the Bent Pyramid, you got right here the Pyramid of Meidum. See, you can see the evolutionary stage. They haven't reached, perfection yet. If you start with the mastaba, you see, you start with the mastaba, that's just a single story. temple. You see, that's still a single story burial temple. You see, and when you look up under that mastaba means bench. It's like a bench. You see, but when you look at the burial up under the mastaba, it's no different than the pyramid. It's a little more elaborate, but for all intents and purposes, it's the same type of burial. You know, you got your shaft where they lower the sarcophagus, and you got your inner chamber where they place the sarcophagus. But that's basically what you see in the pyramid. Again, this is a mastaba, and here you see how they bury up under the mastaba. They had a slanted chambers where they could slide it on down in there, because some of them sarcophaguses is extremely heavy. You know, even the sarcophaguses is which is, where they put the burial, they put the mummy inside of it. And so, some of those sarcophaguses could be tons. Tons. They got some sarcophaguses in Saqqara, and some of them was 80 tons. It looked like but I don't know if they was using those particular sarcophaguses for the Apis bulls, and it was a sacred temple to the Apis bull. But I mean, 80 tons, you know what I'm saying? And it looked like it could have been 100 of them in there. You see? So you talking about Egypt it almost seemed like it was built by giants, but it was technology. It was technology that, enabled them to move a lot of that around. And a lot of people think they know, but they don't know, because if they knew, they could duplicate it. And it has never been duplicated, because the time that was allotted to gather that information. No other culture ever on this planet has had that much time in science and research, in astronomy. No other culture on this planet outside of the Nile Valley. I know it hurt, but it's true. You see, it's topsoil. Everything we talking about still there. If it ain't topsoil, it don't count. You understand? We ain't letting you embellish no damn mythology so you can try to compete. If it ain't topsoil, it don't count. So these were the earlier burials. You see, one level. And then in the third, now, if you go to the first dynasty, I mean, this is what's crucial that we have to understand here. The very first kings and queens of ancient Egypt, they got a cemetery, and their burials is still here. That's crazy. I say, damn, that just show you how ancient the Nile Valley is. Because when you go up that river and you go to the south, and when you start heading towards Ethiopia and Uganda and Rwanda and Kenya, you understand, when you start going in that Great Lakes region, you really getting into some hundreds of thousands of years and years, before Egypt. So you see the layout at Abydos. Abydos is the first royal cemetery of ancient Egypt. Even though Memphis down the river, down, towards the mouth of the Nile, down near the Mediterranean, the Africans came south for their burial. They came back home. They came close to their ancestors to be buried. And so you see Narmer, Aha, Ka, Anija, you see Ka, Semakhet, all of these great pharaohs out of the first and second dynasty. And you can just see, look at Aha at the bottom in the red. Do you see all those storage facilities? Each one of them squares that you see is a storage facility. And so for him to have, full of nothing but vases and furniture and jewelry and scrolls and shit, and you done filled up that many, man, this is not a civilization that just started. These burials right here in the very first dynasty is more elaborate than any king or queen of any civilization anywhere on the planet, even in the first dynasty. Let's be clear about this, okay? And so these out of the first and second dynasty, they were already being buried in mastabas. Now, of course, these right here were not stone. You know, they were mud brick, and they fell down, but nevertheless, what was up under them was still there. You know, what was up under them was still there. And so a lot of it been looted. And so you see here, this is what a mastaba, would look. And you can see each one of these squares is a storage facility where they would put it in one. It'd probably be vases and scrolls in another, and furniture, all the things that a rich royal would take into the afterlife with them. They would store with them. And this was their belief, that they would be using these things in the afterlife. Okay? And so even when you look at the burial, how it was constructed with the shaft, and when you go into the Saqqara, now Saqqara in the third dynasty, the step pyramid of Saqqara that was constructed by Imhotep, the great architect, master architect, Imhotep, the grand vizier, Imhotep. You see, he was the first one that stacked the mastaba. You see, he was the first one to start moving towards the true pyramid. So you see the development from the mastaba, and then you see Imhotep stack them. You see, he started out to build a mastaba, but you can see he added on. It wasn't something that he planned from the very beginning. When he built one, he said, "No, this ain't good enough for my Pharaoh." You know what I'm saying? And so he went, and he made it longer. As you look on the right end, you see where it say M1, then it say M2, then it say M3. He extended it in length. And then, he wasn't satisfied. And so you see the P1, he's began to, go up in height. And then he went over again with the P2. You understand what I'm saying? And extending it to where it is today. You see, and so it's a stage of development. See, the thing is, if you're going to claim something, you got to show the development of it. You see, and nowhere outside of Africa can you show the development of the Great Pyramids. Nowhere. Okay? Because number one, I hear people talk about Mesopotamia. Such frail minds. Mesopotamia never built in stone. Never. If you do the research, they mud brick all the way. That's why that shit, you look over there at those so-called ziggurats, that shit mud, and it melted down, and that's what you see, large lumps of mud, that dry mud. That's what you see over there. Now, you can see some they tried to, rebuild them. Saddam Hussein built that shit over there. And that's the truth. That's who went to rebuild Babylon and all that. And so if you look over there today and you see them new bricks on there, that was done under Saddam Hussein. Okay? Stop playing. Okay? And so this is the first skyscraper ever. Period. You okay? He was Imhotep was the one. And so from this pyramid, let me see. Here, you go to Meidum. Now, what they trying to do from here is they trying to fill in the steps to make it smooth on all sides. You see, here is a step. These are steps. And so you see here, you can still see up under there. You can still see where they trying to seal in the steps. and make a true pyramid. But they failed. They failed. This was the attempt to move towards the Great Pyramid. You see, and then Sneferu coming, behind the pyramid of Meidum, he built this one. So it's still, you got two failures. Boom, boom, you got two failures. And then finally, Sneferu, he came right back. He didn't wait. He came right back. And matter of fact, they might have already been started this one. Why this one? Because they probably already knew that this one was, for all intents, it's still a megalithic structure. Any nation in the world would love to have this, even though it's a failure. It's still, you're talking about 2600 BC, and it's still megalithic. Any goddamn country in the world would take this right here. Matter of fact, they'll take this one. They'll take our failures, and it'll be the greatest thing they ever seen in their life. We can give them the failures. And so, again, Sneferu came right back. He came right back and constructed the world's first true pyramid. Okay? The Red Pyramid. The Red Pyramid of Sneferu, and his son came right behind him and built the world's largest freestanding pyramid. I'm not talking about something that's propped up. When you look up freestanding structures, okay, that's a self-supporting structure. Ain't no mound up under it, nothing. See, a lot of that shit down in South America, if you look up freestanding structure, is not a freestanding structure. It got a mound up under it. Okay, if you need help to stay up, that's not a freestanding structure. So when you're talking about the world's largest freestanding pyramid, and a lot of them, and people, I guess, I don't know if they went to geometry class or not. A pyramid come to a point. So when you look up geometrically what a pyramid is, I mean, you got motherfuckers out here calling all kind of shit a pyramid. That is not no goddamn pyramid. Okay? That's not a pyramid. Even when you really look at Imhotep's pyramid, it's really not a pyramid. It's a multi-level mastodon. That's what it is. It's a multi-level mastodon. You see, you got more than one level, but he stacked mastodon. When you talking about the pyramid, this is the world's first true pyramid, geometrically. Sneferu, the Red Pyramid, is the world's first true pyramid. All that other shit, man, is their way of saying, they didn't attempted to do. You have not done this. You have not done this, and so please stop lying to the people. And so, when you look at this, and I'm only in here for a second because, I got to move on to the next science. Where did the science of these pyramids come from? Because Egypt looked to the south. It looked to the south in the interior of Africa, around the Great Lakes region. Today they call one of the lakes Lake Victoria. Victoria ain't got no goddamn lake in Africa. She ain't even got one in Britain. Okay? So I don't know why today, and I know Africans have, but we got to get these goddamn maps together. You see, I'm sick of this shit. Lake Victoria and Lake Albert and all this shit. Lake Edward in Africa. Ain't no goddamn Lake Edwards in no Africa. Okay, but just because this is what's on the map, I have to tell you so you won't be looking all over the goddamn place when I'm speaking. I just need for you to understand what I'm talking about. But there will be a day when we get this shit up off of Africa, off the continent, and rename the Holy Land. And I know it's many of our people don't even call it by that. You understand what I'm saying? And so, but we got to get some universal understanding about, you know, the sacred names of Africa, and begin to call it by and make it universal. That's why we got to have this, you know, this global African supremacy and have this global African education so we understand each other all over the planet. That's right. We got to have our day, and it got to be soon. We got to quit dreaming. You understand what I'm saying? And get on the job. We got to get on the job, family. What are we talking about? When you go up the river, see, the river is flowing out of the interior of Africa. The interior of Africa is deep in the south. When you go up the river, when you go into the interior of Africa from Egypt, you're going up, you're going south. The river is flowing down into Egypt. See, a lot of people look at the map, they think the river Nile is flowing from Egypt into the interior of Africa. It's not. It's flowing from the interior of Africa down into Egypt. When you go up the river, you are going into the highlands of Africa. Okay? You're going into the highlands of Africa, Ethiopia, and all up in these mountain regions. You understand what I'm saying? Egypt is on the low level. So the Nile is actually flowing down out of the mountains. Even when you talk about Lake Victoria, the criminally renamed Lake Victoria, it is a mountain lake. You see, it's a mountain lake. We got to explain that. So when you see to the right, you see all the mountains, you know, and one of the terms that was referred to the interior of Africa, you know, was the land of the gods and goddesses. Some people say the Ta-Netaru, and some people say the land of Punt, the land of the gods and goddesses. And that's a whole nother lecture. So when you look at Egypt and you look at the temples and, you know, you look at the pyramids, it was a recreation of the Holy Land up south. You see, up south. You see, it was a recreation of the Holy Land up south in Egypt, but they used stone. The pyramids were a recreation of the mountain regions in the south. You see, the swarm, when you come into the temple, a lot of times you will see, you know, hyper-style halls, you know, and that's halls with nothing but columns in it, tall columns. But you look at the capitals on the columns, and they would be lotuses and papyrus, and you see, and so those were the papyrus swamps, you know, that you see going up the river, especially in Sudan, and you know, where you in the Sud region, where you got a lot of them papyrus swamps, you see, and the lakes that you seen on the outside of the temples was a recreation of the holy lakes that was up south in the interior of Africa. So Egypt is the recreation of the Holy Land up south, recreated in stone. That's what it was, family. And so as you look on the right, you see the pyramid, and then you look on, now a lot of these mountains that we're looking at are volcanoes. They're not active. They were active many hundreds of thousands of years ago. They were active. Maybe some of them are, maybe, because I believe Mount Renzori, Kilimanjaro, both of those might be volcanoes. You see, the mountains of the moon. And so as you look on the left side, you see all the pyramid fields. And a lot of people, they think Egypt only had those 3 pyramids. Yet it's still, you see pyramid fields all up and down Egypt. They don't talk about that, okay? And you see Giza is at the bottom, and all the other pyramid fields is south. The development took place in the south, you see? And when they got down to Giza, that was all of the evolution, all of the trials and errors. And when they got to Giza, they was at the mastery of their skills. You see, they was at, so you see the pier, well, the volcanoes, and you see here on this particular map, you see the volcanoes. So there's mountains, and yes, there are also volcanoes. And this is where you get pyramid, house of fire. And so that's when I was talking about how the Hebrews and the Israelites, they got the volcanoes worship in their religion. You understand what I'm saying? Because it seems to be in the ancient world, because it was connected with creation, the volcano being a symbol for the four elements of creation: fire, earth, air, and water. Because when you look at the pyramids, right, say for instance right here, you see the water out there, the ocean. Matter of fact, you see the ring of fire, you see all these volcanoes, and in a ring in the Pacific Ocean. So many times volcanoes are right there with water. So you know that the four elements of creation is fire, earth, air, and water. So when that fire come up, you understand, through the mouth of the volcano, the magma, the lava representing fire. Then you have the ocean there representing water. And then when that lava come up and burst through and it come down and hit that water, it creates steam, and the steam is symbolic of air. And when that lava cools from touching that water and sitting in that water, what does it do? It creates more land. And so the volcano is symbolic of the four elements of creation. Okay? And so, family, that's a quick one for your family. I can't give you a whole pyramid lesson tonight. We could go on, but I gave you enough to let you know that these are our ancestral sacred symbols of creation, of divinity. We can't let nobody have them. They could never have them. You see, they'll never have them, because they belong to us. This is our inheritance. Our ancestors put them pyramids out there so that for millions of years that their descendants would always know who they were, that they were the great gods and goddesses of the planet Earth. Go back and fetch Sankofa. Go back and fetch that which is yours, family. Wake up. Your destiny is right there before you. This is General Sarah Sunseti saying, hey, get with me. I'm going to rock you down on December 25th. We're going to rock you down. You get all your granny, get granddaddy, get auntie, uncles, get the babies, and we're going to give them a powerful presentation. Whatever every Black family needs to know about Christmas. The link is right there in the chat. It'll be in the video description. It'll be a beautiful experience for your family to see this presentation. This is the general saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily, liberation through African education and confrontation, Black power. I'll be right back, about to deal with another powerful one. These temples to the devil showing up all over Israel. Wow. And they talking about they believe in God. Yeah, right. Black power, family. See you soon.